When a naval aviator is in the cockpit, their life is in the hands of the aircraft's engineers. But what happens when the aircraft fails? That's when their life is in the hands of a small and very specialized group of sailors, the Navy Aircrew Survival Equipment Men, or PR. So let's really dig into what makes this role so incredibly critical.
I mean, just listen to that quote. That's not just some line from a job description. That's a mission statement. It really captures the immense weight of responsibility that rests on their shoulders. Their work is, quite literally, the last line of defense between an aviator and total disaster.
Chances are you might have never even heard of this Navy rating before. So in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a much closer look at these unsung heroes of naval aviation.
All right, here's what we've got lined up. We'll start with their core mission. Then we're going to bust some common myths about what they do. After that, we'll get into the different levels of their work, uncover their role with some pretty elite forces, and finally, see how their skills translate into some seriously high-demand civilian careers.
Okay, first things first. What does it actually mean to be a PR? The name itself gives us a little bit of a clue, but believe me, it only scratches the surface.
So here's the official definition, and there is a lot packed in here. Think about it. They're the ultimate specialists in aviation survival. From the moment an aviator straps in to those critical, heart-pounding seconds after an ejection, a PR's handiwork is absolutely everywhere, making sure every single piece of gear works flawlessly. And this insignia, the winged parachute, really points to their origins. See, they were originally known as parachute riggers. But that name was officially changed back in 1965 to reflect a way broader and much more complex set of responsibilities that they had taken on. And that history, the whole parachute rigger thing, leads to a pretty common misconception about what a PR actually does day to day.
Yeah, sure, they operate and repair some seriously heavy-duty industrial sewing machines, but to think of them as just tailors? Oh, no way. That's kind of like calling an astronaut a bus driver. It completely misses the point and the sheer scope of their technical expertise.
And here is where you really see the incredible diversity of their job. A PR has to be an expert not just on parachutes and life rafts, but also on complex oxygen systems, specialized G-suits, and even night vision equipment. We're talking about everything an aviator wears and everything they need to survive. The whole shebang.
And every single one of those items is tracked with meticulous documentation, just like this parachute record here. I mean, every inspection, every repair, every single component swap is logged. These records can be pulled for inspection at any moment. Because in this job, there is absolutely zero room for error. One missed detail could have catastrophic consequences. Now, this intense focus on detail operates on two different tiers within the Navy's maintenance structure. You've got the organizational level and the intermediate level. Okay, so I thought this part was pretty fascinating. You can think of it like this. O-level PRs, they're on the front lines, embedded with a specific squadron. Their whole goal is speed and efficiency, keeping that squadron's gear ready to go right now. Then you have I-level PRs. These are the specialists. They work at larger facilities, doing more complex repairs, and basically creating a stock of perfect, ready-for-issue parts for a whole bunch of different squadrons. Both are absolutely crucial for the fleet. The expertise of a PR is so trusted, so critical, that their job actually extends far beyond your conventional aviation squadrons. Think about it. When the stakes are the absolute highest and the missions are the most demanding, you need specialists you can trust without a single shred of doubt. That's when they call a PR, to make sure their highly specialized gear is absolutely perfect. Yeah, you heard that right. Navy PRs are integral to Naval Special Operations, we're talking the SEALs, and Marine Corps Special Ops. They also maintain all the gear for the Navy's elite parachute demonstration team, the Leapfrogs. Can you just imagine the level of trust required to pack the parachute for a Navy SEAL or one of the Leapfrogs? It's just immense. So what happens after the Navy? Well, it turns out the intense, detail-oriented training a PR gets creates a skill set that is incredibly valuable in the civilian world, often in fields you would never expect. Just look at this list. These aren't just military job duties. These are the foundational pillars of modern business. Every PR lives and breathes quality assurance. They are masters of documentation, administration, and logistics, and they do it all by the book, following complex technical manuals to the absolute letter. So the big question is, how does being an expert in maintaining a life raft or an oxygen mask translate into a great job in the corporate world or the tech industry? Well, the connections are surprisingly direct. All that meticulous record keeping, that is the exact mindset you need for IT database management. Their deep experience in quality assurance is a perfect fit for something like a regulatory compliance specialist. Maintenance administration, well, that's just a different name for project and operations management. And material procurement is the textbook definition of supply chain and logistics. It lines up perfectly.
You know, when it comes right down to it, this is what it's all about. A PR is trained from day one in a culture where there is simply no margin for mistakes. This zero room for error philosophy is an incredibly valuable asset that they can bring to any team in any industry. So the next time you see a Navy jet streak across the sky, think about the pilot, but also take a second to think about that unseen professional, the aircrew survival equipment man, who meticulously inspected, packed, and certified every single piece of gear, keeping that pilot safe. It's a heavy, heavy burden, and it leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, doesn't it?